Welcome to this yoga class that will focus on opening the front line. So hip flexors, the front, the belly, the chest, the neck. This class is good anytime, but especially if you've had a cold and you've been coughing a lot. We'll get into the lungs as well. So we'll get into the intercostals, into the ribs. So front line and lungs, ribs. Okay. So stretch out your mat. A chair will be nice for this practice, especially if you have been sick and you want to have something to hold you up a little bit when we're in dragon. A bolster is nice, or a long body pillow of some sort, and perhaps two smaller pillows. So we can make a ramp later so that if you are coughing, you don't have to lie right down on your back. For class today, we'll begin with dragon, or preparation for dragon. So hands and knees here. Floss up the spine, round, and arch before we begin our yin. Just a few times here. All right, to warm, might be feeling a little bit stiff. It's cold outside, it's winter time. And walk those hands forward about a foot or two. And start to rock forward and back. And you might find this rock grows, that you bring the chest through the arms and then sit back. And the chest through the arms, broaden across the clavicles and return. Shoulders are wide. Neck is long. One more time, come forward, deep inhale. And exhale, ha. Roll up on those shins, arms can reach, and bring hands to heart center. We'll begin with dragon. So that right leg can come forward, ankle or heel and knee in alignment here. And we'll use a chair to place the left hand onto. You can bring it close to the body to help prop you up. And first, a little bit of yang, a little bit of movement, a little rock, forward and back. And choose how much lean you'd like to have. Maybe you wiggle the back knee a little further behind the body, lean into that chair. It can even be turned. The chair seat is right in front of you, and the forearms come to the chair. Nice high supported variation here. And we'll stay for quite some time. And the variation that works for you, hands could be on the earth too, or on blocks. See if you can breathe deeply, as deeply as you're able. And peel into the sides of the ribs. Notice if the pose has started to shift. If it has, and you feel more open, wiggle that knee back a little further, whatever serves your body. Where have you softened? And or where have you tensed? Breathe into that space. Inhale and exhale. From wherever you are, perhaps you wiggle that knee in a little and come up onto the hands and pause. Notice any sensations that arise. And see if you can lengthen that lead leg. Can move the chair out a little bit away from you here. Hands to the chair as you flex through the toes. Hamstring lengthener just for a few moments. Focus on front line, but just a little opening here. Draw that right hip back into its socket and try not to lean. It's tricky. One more inhale. And then exhale to draw that foot in. Hands to the earth so you can set the shins beside one another back into tabletop and wag your tail, wag your bottom side to side and allow the spine to see curve. So you might look over that same shoulder. So you wag. Pause on one side, breathe into the side of the body. Breathe into the ribs, inhale. Exhale fully. Inhale. Exhale powerfully. Another inhale. Exhale, cinch out all the air. Return to center, opposite side. Take a wider breath in. Exhale, perhaps through pursed lips. Inhale, broaden. Exhale, fully press out the air. Again. Full exhale. And return to center, rock forward and back. Maybe a little brief child's pose, little pressure on the front of the body. And roll up through the spine. Shoulder rolls, just a few. And we'll find our dragon on the opposite side. So onto the knees here. Left leg comes forward. Perhaps for now, everything in alignment, 90-degree angles. And this chair, if you're using the chair, take it to the opposite side. and explore just being upright. Perhaps the chair comes a little closer, hands onto it. Little rock, forward and back. Just to see how the hip feels, hip flexor. And then come into stillness. Maybe you wiggle that back leg a little further behind you. Maybe chair a little closer if you'd like to bring the forearms onto it. Find the depth that works for you here. Again, maybe hands on blocks, hands down, forearms down on the earth, whatever works for you. And we'll stay. Don't forget about that breath. As long and smooth as it can be. Shoulders soften away from the ears. When mind becomes involved, return to the breath and sensations within this moment. Perhaps you gaze up toward the forehead. Stretch the eyes. Have things changed? Notice. Again, I ask you where there's more softness, length, where perhaps tension has crept in. See if you're able to soften it. And if, as you notice your experience, you only notice tension, maybe back out of the posture a little. Few more breaths. Another inhale and exhale. Ha. And come out slightly from wherever you are. If you're using the chair, maybe that means the hands come to the chair. Maybe you need to scooch in that back knee a little bit. Whatever works for you until you're able to find an upright position. And stay. When you're ready, that chair could move away from you a little. Send the hips back in space as you lengthen the left leg, toes toward nose, trying to keep the hips directly back behind you. Hands could be on the chair or to either side on the earth, whatever works. This is your practice. Breathe into the back line. Inhale and exhale. Hands perhaps come to the earth as you glide that heel in, plant foot, hands on the earth, and then tabletop position. Round and arch. And we'll slow it down. So come into the rounded position. Breathe into those ribs. We stay here. One more inhale to the back of the heart. Exhale. And on your next inhale, see if you can really focus on thoracic spine. So upper back, extend and pause and breathe. More focus on upper back extension here, pressing through hands, chest coming through the arms. Take note of which position or which breath. I'll redo that. Take note of where the breath feels ease-filled and where it feels challenging. And then round, whole spine here, arch, round, arch. Come back to neutral and let's allow the chest to come through the arms or the chest to dip a little, sink a little, press away. Sink a little, press away. The reason I'm doing this is because I did mention this practice would be great if you've been sick, getting over a cough. We often get tight in upper back and shoulders and chest. So just a few scapular glides. Nice. And take that chair out in front of you. On or off the mat, whatever you're comfortable with here. Hands can come to the chair seat as you sit back for a moment. This will open into not only the back, but the front of the chest as you allow the armpits to melt toward the earth. And widen those knees if you'd like. And a child's pose with the chair. Breathe into the front of the chest and the sides. This is too much. Hands could return to the earth in a regular child's pose. To open up under those armpits. Few more breaths. You got this. Press into the chair. Another inhale. And exhale, slide those hands down the chair. You can let that chair slide in front of you, off of the mat. And then press onto the forearms, into your sphinx to again open that front line more. Just a few breaths. One more inhale. And exhale to lower. Hands press into the earth. Come into a child's pose. Only to roll up through the spine and have a seat, perhaps facing me. Could be cross-legged, could be in rock pose, could be like I was before on the shins, maybe even sitting on a bolster, for example. Open up through the ribs here some more. Side bend over to your left. We'll pause here. Could also bend that arm, allow it to drape over to the opposite, the hand to the opposite side, opposite ear. Okay, so I'll restart that. Could allow the arm to bend. Only come as deep as your body will allow. This is in place of Banasana today, because if you have been coughing, you may not want to lie down on your back. You can find softness through the neck, and we'll get into the neck soon. Another inhale. And exhale to lengthen that arm if it wasn't already there. So you reach for the fingertips. Reach, 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 reach. We come out a little and then over again. Make a fist with the hand. See how that feels in this line. Does it change the tension? Release the hand, make a fist. Release, make a fist. Working the heart line a little. Reach the fingers long, splay them wide, and then return to center. Pause. Now, take the chair to your left side if it's not already there, and bring it in toward you. And a little bit back so that your knee doesn't get stuck on the chair. Okay, a little bit back. This is in case you need it for our next stretch. Drop the head. Lower the head over toward the left-hand side. Some people might stay here and just walk those fingertips out a little. Other people might wrap that right hand behind the body. But there's also the option, and I'll come out a little bit to show you, to take that left forearm to the chair. Okay. Lower the head over, cradle the head with that hand. If you find that it's too much to have the neck over like this, because we'll be here for a while. So here's an option to support the head. If you need this even higher, like higher prop, you could have blanket underneath here if the chair seat's not high enough, okay, so that you're not arching or arcing through the middle of your body. Okay, so maybe there's a little pillow under here too. So that's an option. Most intense would be arm wrapped behind the body for most. We'll stay here for quite some time. Hence that chair being helpful, cradling the head. Broaden across the shoulders if they start to round inward. Maybe you open your eyes and you take them the opposite direction of the head, as long as there's no issues with blood pressure. Vagus nerve release. Notice if there's a shift in tension. And let go of the eyes. Take the head back to center. If you had the hand behind the body, remove it. Stack spine and rotate your head to that same left side. Stretch the side of the neck. Sometimes we do this on our bellies, but here we're avoiding being completely prone or supine because that might cause coughing. You might be able to play with the head, slight nods or movements, as long as it feels good. Just be gentle always with the neck in particular. Return the head to center. And let's take that chair over to the opposite side for when we need it. Place it slightly toward the back of your mat. Cross the legs the opposite way. And take that left arm up and side bend toward the chair. Could stay here, or again, wrap that hand around the opposite ear to help support the head. Reach those fingertips. And become rooted through the pelvis and long through the spine. Come up tall, inhale. And exhale, reach a little further while remaining tall. Breathe into the sides of the ribs. Feel the intercostals expand. And play with the hand. Ball it into a fist. And then reach the fingers. Create a fist. And reach the fingers. Just a few times. One more time. Reach, 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 reach. Splay fingers. And come up nice and tall. Roll the shoulders. Hmm. And neck stretch. So could use the chair here. Bring that right forearm to the chair. Drop the chin. Head comes over toward the right. Walk opposite fingertips out further. Or same thing with fingertips on the earth. Chin drops, head rolls toward the chair. Stay here or wrap that arm, that left arm behind the back. Feel free to adjust the position of the head slightly. This feels good in your neck. If it doesn't, come out of it at any time. Otherwise, broaden across the chest and shoulders. If there's no issues with blood pressure, you could open the eyes and take them toward the left. This could also be closed too. Don't have to be open, but it's exploring. Stretch of the eyes. Vagus nerve support. Feel any shifts as you return the eyes to center. Head low center. Release that backhand if you had it. Stack the spine. And when ready, look over that right shoulder toward the chair. Explore the neck with micro movements if it feels safe. Few more breaths. Inhale and exhale. Return the head to center. Perhaps drop it once more. If it's available to you, lift the gaze to any degree as those fingertips lift off the earth and reach back slightly behind you to open the chest. And release that chair. You can now move off to the side where it won't be in your way. And we'll create a ramp to open up the heart space a little bit more in our butterfly pose. So you could stack a bunch of pillows, they make a ramp, or take some low pillows and your big body pillow and use those medium-sized ones to create the ramp. Blocks can also work if you do have them. Take the base of your pelvis to the bolster or pillow and lean back. Adjust so your neck can be nice and long. Arms open. This is where you can decide if you'd like pillows underneath the arms, if this is too deep. Okay. And then allow the knees to open, feet together, butterfly. And also, if it's too much, pillows can come underneath the outer legs. And we'll stay here for a time. In the first minute or so, feel free to move the arms to find an angle where you get some nice stretch through shoulders and chest until stillness overtakes you. You know you've found your place to land. Is there tension in the face? Can you release it? Along with that tension, are there thoughts? Can you release them too? They may return, or others may enter, but let them go. Give them little weight. As you breathe into this moment as it is. Final inhale. And exhale. In your own time, use those hands to help close your legs. Then bring them parallel. You could stay right here for Savasana if you'd like. You can take any variation. This is just one suggestion. Another suggestion would be to have pillow or pillows underneath the backs of the knees so the legs can stretch out to some degree. without creating tension in low back. So get comfy, any blankets you'd like. Tense your spine along the pillows or bolster. And breathe up and down the length of your spine. Perhaps you envision a color that travels up and down the spine. Inhale, light up your entire spine. And exhale to soften into those pillows behind you. And feel the legs heavy. Whole body heavy. And the breath light. Cultivate a sensation of lightness. Light and healing. A few more rounds of breath here. And begin to wiggle the fingers and the toes. And plant the feet if they're not already planted. Remove any pillow you might have behind the knees. And roll over to one side and press yourself up to seated. Roll the shoulders. And reach those arms up. And bring the hands through to heart center. And to create more vibration in through the chest cavity, and to work on the strength of our lungs and our diaphragm and heart space. Feel free to join me in one long Yum. So it's spelled Y-A-M, but we say yum, and that's the sound associated with the heart. So inhale to prepare, and exhale one long chant of yum. Yum. Inhale and exhale. Final inhale as those arms sweep up. Bring the hands through to heart once more. Thank you for this winter practice. I hope that you enjoyed it. Sat Nam. If you liked this class, please check out the next two calming, restorative practices to follow. Take care.